At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Hi, it's Jess Fisher. I'm Director of Audience Engagement for GZM Shows. I'm here with series creators Chris Terry and David Kreisman. Today, we'll be talking about Left Arm Treasure Society. Normally, the three of us host GZM Rewind. Go ahead and listen to that if you'd like to hear us talk about our other shows. But please listen to the entirety of Left Arm Treasure Society because we'll be talking about the entire season of Left Arm Treasure Society. There will be spoilers. I finished Left Arm Treasure Society today, and it was so good.
It's a fun show.
I've really been enjoying it. I've actually scheduled it out for the last couple weeks, so I've been listening to it weekly to try to get the listener experience, too.
That's cool.
And I think it might be, like, for me, the most emotionally touching show.
Wow.
Oh, that's good. It's it's deep. You know, it asks
Very
big
deep.
questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a show about legacy, placehood, your role as growing up, especially I think about our listeners' age, like the reveal at the end that you turn 13 and you're actually already bar mitzvahed, but the ceremony is to prove to the community that you can lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was news to me. I did not know that. I learned that in the making of this. I learned that in the making of the show. I always thought, I literally asked this question of the rabbi that we were talking to.
The listeners might not know who we are. Dave,
sorry.
You wrote the show.
I did. I was one of the writers on the show, yes.
You're one of the writers of the show. And also, you are
director.
Jewish.
I am indeed Jewish, yes.
Yes. Okay. So you didn't know that.
No. You know, in the making of the show, we worked with a rabbi named Yonah Schiller, who was kind of like our guru and answered questions, and we talked to about the story and the themes. And at one point I said to him, what are the things you have to absolutely do in order to be bar mitzvahed or bar mitzvahed? And he said, nothing.
Nothing.
You just have to turn 13. So all of these things that we think of as going to the ceremony, you have to, read from the Torah or say these specific words. All of those things have been added on as part of the experience. And of course, it's important to do those things. But none of those things are actually rules that you have to follow in order to become one.
I thought that was such a cool thing to learn because I didn't know that either. And also, I think that I liked about it the most was how it played into the show. Like in terms of, because he's been worrying about it the entire time and it's very classic,
Oh, yeah. He's been worried about it the whole time and it already happened.
And in the end, it already happened. So
in
a way, it was just the way that interesting new fact that probably not a ton of people know also played into the fact of the story was so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We also worked with an organization called Common Era, which is a great organization that also highlighted, they wanted to tell a Jewish story. And I thought this show did a great job of, I learned a lot that I didn't
very
know.
non-stereotypical Jewish story. They're talking about reinventing and the things we think of as, especially in the bar mitzvah process of like, you have to have a big party and you have to have all these things. All these things have just been added on because people like to have parties and people like to, share this with their friends and family
I've been
community.
to some really good bar and bat mitzvahs.
There's great ones. It's great. It's fun. But I actually was introduced to all these things, non-traditional ones where people do camp out in the woods or you can be as creative as you want to be. Yeah. Haunted house.
So great.
Yeah.
It was so cute. Something that I was really touched by was the story of the older characters in it. And that's something that GZM does extremely well is tell stories that are, geared toward younger audiences. But it's, the characters who are adults are very, very rich, very deep characters. One of the moments that I cried the most was the message from Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The message. Yeah, you can go ahead and play it.
Okay, here we go.
And those cards, that curse, it cost me a lot.
But not everything.
No, not everything. Reverse the curse, Jonas. Find what I lost, what we all lost. Be a man of kindness. Be curious. Be brave. Be a good friend. Do what is right, not what is easy. That's what our tradition tells us. I'm proud of you. Love always, your Grandpa Sam. Now go Cubbies. Now how do I turn this thing on?
So, it's so great. That speech appears at another point in the show, too, at the very end when he's playing back the thing. And I think it gets me where this cut is taken from, but it also gets me more even in the end. I don't know. There's something about the way the reverb in the room that we came up with and the idea that there's a bunch of people there listening to it is really, really sort of special. And the way that it doesn't play the whole thing, but we've already heard it, so we can transfer over playing it to the end, I thought was really, really fun.
I was thinking a lot about how difficult Jonas's life is in this story. It's really hard to move at the age of 13.
Yeah.
And your dad's not there, and you're going through this huge change, and you're working so hard, and you lose the baseball championship. And there's so much going really wrong in his life, and he's having such a difficult time.
But he's got his friends. He's got these amazing friends, and he has this really incredible legacy that was given to him without any work. He was brought to this place of Chicago, this place that has legacy attached to it. It reminds me of he was already bar mitzvahed. He goes to Chicago and he lives there, and the parts of his history are a part of him, whether he wants it to be there or not.
Yeah, there's kind of a heaviness even in the house. You think about that first scene where they come in and it's when was the last time someone opened these windows, and there's all these pictures on the walls like it's a museum. And his mom obviously has a lot of feelings about having grown up here and maybe not having been as close to her dad as she would have liked to have been.
Yeah.
And he's inheriting all of these things and trying to fix what's going on in his life and figure it out, and also in a way fix what went wrong in his grandfather's life. And like you said, it's a lot.
I also thought in terms of a subtle thing, I thought it was really interesting how he meets, Sophie in particular, right? She's so supportive of him, and you can tell, maybe there's a little bit of a crush there. I'm not sure, but but at the same time, she's doing it at such a high level that it intimidates him in a way. It's like he's loves having her as a friend, and she's so supportive. But at the same time, she's also so good at everything.
Yes, it's very easy for her.
Very easy for her, right? And
why don't you going through what he's going through?
Right, I know, but there's there's sort of this feeling of why don't you just do it like she does it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of feel to it, which was kind of cool.
Yeah. Another thing I was thinking about what he inherited is both his faith, which he addresses throughout and also toward the end that he inherited it, but also became in touch with it. But also Aunt Sarah, who was such a really lovely, interesting character, and her story at the end.
Yeah, she was
also
great.
the parallel storytelling of this friend group versus the older friend group really got me too. I would love it if you played Aunt Sarah's story.
Jonas, is it me or is she
moving a lot faster? I noticed that too. It's like she suddenly got younger.
Come on, all of you. Oh, stop fussing.
These are the seats.
Oh, right here. Sam was sitting to my left. The ball came in. High arc, beautiful. Everyone stood. It was coming right at us. Sam reached up with his glove. Oh, Sam always had the surest of hands. But that day, it went into his glove and bounced out, rolled right under my seat. I grabbed it, held it up like it was the Holy Grail.
It kinda was.
Was Dad upset he dropped it?
Not at all. I always wondered if he missed it on purpose.
Yeah.
It's so good.
All you got to do is add some nice piano, and it's instant tears.
But also, it was like the moment of, does she seem like she's moving like she's younger? And then the crowd noise, and she's literally living the moment because she's looking out at the same spot. Oh my
Thinking
gosh.
about her brother.
And she's the only one remembering it in that way, so it's it's pretty cool. We're in her head, It's really cool.
Yeah. Another moment that really got me is the moment where Jonas led everybody to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. It was so...
Comes a leader, yeah.
It was so good, and the parallel was perfectly metaphorical and not heavy-handed. It was just honest. I really thought it was perfect and very touching. And it was very much like a becoming a man, taking a moment, leading the community.
Mm-hmm.
And he's having to do that while just having to, he found out that the treasure wasn't there,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And to also make the decision to not cash in on the treasure and put it as a monument also is more of a, I would call like mature choice, a grown-up choice.
We had a lot of discussion about that from the start in laying out the story of what happens with the treasure, because in the end, it feels weird if this whole story is just about, and then they got rich and sold the cards.
Yeah, exactly. You know, right. Everybody got rich.
And she didn't want them to be stolen, or so like, you know, what is the answer? And somewhere in the middle, you know, that they honor what these cards meant while not being, you know, not throwing them in the ocean like the Coeur de la Mer.
Right.
From
Like
Titanic. The Coeur de la Mer.
Yeah.
Like the necklace in Titanic.
Yes.
Makes everybody
I didn't know
mad
that's
she
what it
throws
was
it
called.
into. Yes.
Throws it into the sea.
Also, Jonas's speech, his you know, bar mitzvah speech is really gorgeous. If you'd like to play that for me.
And I love the way that this is situated. He's up in the box and he's like projecting down to his friends,
broadcasting it out to
exactly.
So great.
Yeah. But now I'm starting to think it was the wrong question. Because the answer is unknowable. And honestly, it's not really important. Because the fact is, I am here. And it doesn't matter why. What matters is what I'm gonna do with my time now that I am. How I spend it, and with whom. My Grandpa Sam came to the end of his life with regrets, thinking he'd wasted a lot of his life. His story and the story of the Left Arm Treasure Society is one that taught me a lot about who I am and who I want to be. A good friend, a good son, a nephew, a leader. So why am I here? Because I am.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
I mean, listeners, I'm just like fully crying, like just crying. It's just like, I mean, what a deep, deep, deep message.
Yeah.
This show, more than like, it just ramped the whole final episode. Just it's a cry fest.
It is.
Right.
Y'all feel very proud? You should.
Yeah, it is very.
Yeah,
story.
definitely. Yeah, very proud of the story. I think it's great. It turned out great. It was not an easy one it wasn't easy to write. And I know, Chris, we had a lot of trouble figuring out the music and stuff.
Music was a really long haul on this one.
Especially because you have these kind of two parallel stories. You've got the story of the bar mitzvah and all these scenes of him sort of just talking with the rabbi. And then you've got mystery scenes and exploring and all that kind of stuff. And how do you marry those two things to have a united sound music-wise? And also sort of the curse, you know, the scariness of the curse and bringing the 60s into current time and all that. So I think all of those things, you could talk to it more, Chris, but you experimented with a lot of different versions of
We
this.
went through a whole bunch that, like, at first I did a pass. It wasn't totally I couldn't quite get a handle on it. And then we wanted to be a little bit more like, not Goonies, but kind of like that adventure-y 80s thing, right? And so then Oded wrote some cues, and then I wrote some more, and then we sort of combined them, and then combined with some sort of library music. What was really cool about it is there were some sort of specific tracks that sort of played at certain moments, like the mystery stuff that were sort of like, would just take you back, you know, you could use the same track for the same thing throughout the show. And then that'll open it up to have like what you heard in that last thing, which was like a full on just modern pop tune that's like, you know, that's playing very much, I don't know, Dave, I pictured it very much as like, you know, the John Cusack holding the, you know, holding
box,
the thing up, you know. So a lot of Dave and I's references, right? So those 80s movies that have that classic soundtrack, but also mixed with like, how do you do the underscore in that? That was the challenging part of this show, like, like in terms of for me, for music, but we pulled it off, and I'm super, super proud of it. Yeah.
I'd call it a pretty tonally different show. Different show. Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Not totally different show than a lot of than other GZM shows. There's I mean, we've done sports shows. This isn't I wouldn't necessarily describe this as a sports show.
No.
It's not magic, it's not sci-fi. It's just a beautiful story.
Well, that's the other thing we talked a lot about, right, Dave? In the beginning, it was like, oh, everything was, I think the first theme was a lot of baseball, a lot of different this and that. And like, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it was a good idea to pull back from the baseballness of it, because it's not really a show about baseball. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm
sure
that's
Yeah, only kinda. Yeah, tears streaming down face.
All right, Jess. Well, listen, we'll let you compose yourself, and
Thank you.
everybody go listen to the show. It's really fun.
Yeah, if you haven't, go listen.
Hey, teachers, parents, and curious kids. Want to bring your favorite GZM show to your classroom? Check out gzmclassroom.com, the ultimate hub for middle grade students and educators. We've got engaging podcasts that bring storytelling to life, plus free instructional resources to make learning exciting and easy. Whether you're a teacher looking for fresh ideas or a student hungry for adventure, we've got you covered. Visit gzmclassroom.com today and start exploring. That's gzmclassroom.com. Because learning should never be boring.